Come on, coffee. Boy, do I feel like a slacker. My wife's already up. Bev is up and at 'em. And me, I roll out of bed at 6:30 in the morning. Good Lord, half the day is gone. You about ready to go make knives? One more cup. One more cup and we'll go make us some knives. Okay. Let's go heat treat and temper this. And let's see, it's still early. Well, I say early. I got a very light start this morning. I didn't wake up till 6:30. All right, let's go heat treat and temper it. All right, we're gonna heat that rod up so we can heat this oil up. I gotta heat that oil up to at least 120, 130, no more than 160. You know, you never stop remembering. Well, unless you're Joe Biden. See, I couldn't avoid that. But I was just sitting here waiting for my coffee to percolate. And I was thinking, when I was a kid, I was so hungry. You know, I come from a very large family and we did not have a lot of money. I used to eat creamer. I was so hungry I would eat creamer. And then I was thinking, you know, that sounds funny, but I'm sure deep within the dark corners of my brain, the amount of hunger I experienced as a child probably has something to do with why I can't seem to control the amount of food I eat now. I mean, I'm fat. You've seen me. And there's only one reason I'm fat. It's got nothing to do with, I'm big bone. No, I eat massive quantities of food. And, you know, I've managed to stop booze. I've stopped drugs. I stopped cigarettes. But I just cannot find it within me to control how much I eat. And I bet you being hungry as a kid has something to do with it. I bet you psychiatrists would, know the term or understand it. Okay, we're ready. Now I drink my creamer. Don't judge me. So, right about here is where I want to put my well. This once was a pond. There used to be a dam that went across here, down closer towards the fence. And this was about 12, 13 foot deep right here. So, and there is this little bitty eroded area, because when it rains, I mean, the water rushes down through here. On the other side of my fence, there's a pond that the cows get into. So I'm going to put my well just north of this raging water that comes through here, probably by about 10 foot, which would put me up the hill a little bit. But from what I understand, the water table is just, a few feet below the surface here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either I don't know if I have enough chain, but if I do, I'll use chain to go from that tree to this tree as high up as I can get the chain. And then I'll tighten it on one end with a come along. And in the middle, or just above where I want the well to be dug, I'll put a pulley up there, and I'll run a rope up through the pulley and attach it to my, it's a post hole digger. It's a post hole auger is what it is. And I'm just at the thinking stages right now. I got a million things going on at once. And I'm gonna probably start gathering pipe and parts and foot valves and drop pipes and pump. And I will put a well down here. There's just something about having access to water that's almost potable. I mean, I would have to purify it because it's, not quite groundwater, but it's not far enough below the ground to safely drink it. So I would have to maybe filter it. maybe boil it. I don't know. My wife said what I ought to do is go ahead and drill the well, pull some water out, and send it out and have it tested, and see what they tell me. There's cows all around here. This guy uphill from me has several dogs that poop on the ground, so if it rains, all that rain eventually washes down through here. So that was not what you think it was. It was me twisting on a vinyl seat. I swear. Although, it could be me someday, but it wasn't that time. Maybe you didn't even hear it. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know. It's really the only place I can dig that's not... See, all my land is low down here, but there's all trees down there, and it'd just be too hard, too impossible to get my post hole auger through the roots. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to start gathering the components that I need to make it, and my plan is to go down 24 feet. That's as far as I can reach, and that is as deep as a hand pump will pull water up. So, and I am in no, there's nothing that I can't do, but everything takes me a lot longer to do, and I have to find ways to do it where I don't use my back. I won't go into detail, but I've got all kinds of medical problems, and I have to work my way around them. So there's nothing that I can't do. It's just that I have to find ways to work within my physical confines, if you will, which is why I have this. I can't even walk from my shop to my house, or my garage to my shop. It's a lot of money to spend. I could have got the government to buy me a scooter, but I'm not into that. And nothing looks more pitiful than a huge fat guy on a scooter. This doesn't look near as bad. All right, I'm gonna go back to knife making. All right, this is heat treated and tempered. And I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and I will likely get the handles on today, or maybe not. I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm doing a little bit each day among some other stuff. And when I get this cleaned up, I've got to go to Marshall, Texas to go pick up my check. I sold a gun on consignment at a gun store. And this is how interesting the times we are living in are. I bought this particular gun for $300. Probably 10 or 11 years ago, and I just sold it for $550 at a gun shop. That's it's amazing how prices have increased on anything that'll shoot, and I'm really surprised that it sold. It took so long to sell. I thought it would go much faster. I have one other gun that I'm going to sell, and it's a 22, and if you're familiar with... It's a Browning takedown. I think they call it an SA-22, and it's in grade 5, if you're familiar with the grades. It's got gold inlay. It's got a gray receiver with gold etching. It's a beautiful gun. It's worth about $1,500 or $1,600. I've never shot it. I'm not going to shoot it, and I have no need for it. And when I sell that, I'm going to use that money to buy stuff that I do need and will shoot. So I got my eye on a Ruger Charger 9mm with an arm brace and a silencer. And it takes Glock mags, which I have a Glock 19X. Or, I used to have before the boating accident where all my guns went to the bottom of the river. So anyway, let me get to work. Clean this up, get the handles on. Let me see if I can show this to you. There is a phenomenon that occurs when you expose high carbon steel to 1600 degree temperatures. And it's called decarburization. Let's see if this light will help. Yeah, there we go. You see them little pock marks? That's carbon that has burned off and left these little tiny pock marks. Now, this was much worse. I've sanded them about halfway gone, and I got to finish sanding through them. And this would be the only reason why I would ever want an electric kiln, to avoid the mess. I'll show you. Well, I've already showed you. This is what it starts off looking like. And that's a lot of mess to have to clean off, number one. And then you got to sand back down through the decarburization, which there's some here and a little bit up here. So a lot of work to get it to the tempering point, and a lot of work to clean it back up from the tempering point. Heat treating, I mean, not tempering. Heat treating and tempering. So let me get back to work on this. I may not get the handle on today. I got to get out there to Marshall, Texas early enough to get my check and deposit it. Because remember when I had that problem with my old pickup truck? It cost me $1,000 to get it fixed in order to trade it in. And I had to put it on a credit card. So I've got that credit card. Between the money from this gun sale and a few more dollars, I'm going to be able to pay that off finally. And then, I don't know why I'm telling you all this personal stuff, but my wife owes a couple $100 on a Home Depot card. And then we have a very small loan that we're going to be able to pay off next month. And we will be completely debt-free again, besides my car. And, that's a good place to be in if the world changes drastically. And I am really afraid it's going to. I forgot to mention yesterday the Three Gorges Dam in China. Boy, if that dam goes, it's already moved some. If that dam goes, China will be absolutely devastated. And, their economy is already in shambles, and they're just barely holding it together. They're putting on a good front, but, China is in deeper, dire straits than we are here financially. And they're closer to a collapse than we are. And if that Three Gorges Dam goes, I believe it will put them in a financial collapse, and who knows, maybe even a societal collapse. I don't know what mindset unarmed Chinese people have. I do remember Tiananmen Square and what a determined bunch of young people they were, in the face of tanks and armed military. So who knows? Anyway, here we go again. Me talking my head off. I just sit here and think, I honestly have very little hope for the world continuing the way it's gone my last 60 years. And soon to be 61, by the way. Okay, back to work. Old people suck. I'm kidding. I just asked the old guy in the gun shop if there was another way to get out of here rather than going back through that, mile-long construction of dirt road. They said, yeah, if you get on here and turn right out of my driveway, follow that road all the way to where it dead ends, and turn around and go back the way you came. Oh, what a smart aleck. That was funny. And it took a second for me to figure out what he was telling me. No, there's no other way.